New game trailers are released every day. They normally show us a game that's set to be released in the future, or updates and DLC for games that are already out in the world right now. It's easy to miss them if you don't go looking, so why not showcase the new trailers as they're being released? That way we can wishlist them or buy them and show support for any games that we want to play in the future. Drop a comment below if any of these new games are up your alley, and with that being said, let's start the show. We're going to start this week off with a game named Palia, a farming exploration game that will allow you to live out your own farm-loving life fantasy. You'll get to craft, cook, fish and farm with friends as you discover an enchanting adventure that is filled with wonderful characters and mysterious secrets. Palia will be the perfect cozy adventure that'll have you enjoying your new life from the phrase, "Go and enjoy your new life." It's all down to you to explore and make the most of the lush lands that surround you. Make sure to take it all in, as it really won't get much better. Customize your character and build the home of your dreams. With hundreds of craftable items and customization options, you can decorate your plot to make your home truly uniquely yours. Jump in solo or with friends, as you can ensure that the community is the heart of everything you do. No danger needed here, just love and peace in Palia. A game that was released nearly a decade ago now, but is getting some new improvements, and the best news, a console release. This is Starward Rogue, a bullet hell twin stick shooter that was originally released in 2016. See, decade sounds way cooler than 8 years. You'll need to make your way through this roguelike dungeon that will have you blasting your way through hordes of enemies as you aim to get to the depths of the dungeon to see what lurks in the shadows. The game has received very good feedback over its time on PC, currently sitting at 90% after all these years. The console release happened a few days ago now. It's been added to Xbox, PlayStation and the Nintendo Switch, and I hope all the best for the game on the consoles. Bullet hells really do work well on a gamepad, so fingers crossed this one can blast through to the top of the charts. I've always been fascinated by how the world sees Tesla. No, not the car company that makes weird cars now, but Nikola Tesla, the inventor. Every game and media seems to show him somewhat as a mad scientist, with large coils and sparks flying everywhere. Me? I absolutely love it, and I really hope with this new game, the House of Tesla will be treated to all the goodies that we've seen over the last few years, like how we're using Red Dead Redemption 2 or the Order 1886. The House of Tesla is a handcrafted puzzle adventure, as you try to solve the puzzles laid out in front of you. The machines left behind will piece together the mystery of the rise and fall of Nikola Tesla. Just make sure you don't get too close to the electric pillars. They have been known to give people a little shock every now and then. Moving on to an old school groove with high speed action in Berserk Boy, an action-packed platformer with Metrovania elements. This beautifully crafted pixel adventure will have you jumping, dashing, and as Sonic would say, gotta go fast, as we aim to save the world from imminent doom. You'll be able to turn into different elements as you move around the levels, learning how to use them and which situation requires maybe fire over water, but it'll be down to you to learn. The game is completely giving me old school Sonic vibes. I'm talking Sonic and Knuckles running through Mushroom Hill Zone. If Berserk Boy can take the levels and love from older games like Sonic and put in their own style and vibes from newer games, I think we're going to be onto a winner here. The Hitman games have really hit their peak perfection recently, with the newly released trilogy offering open world areas for you to go and just clown around and boomerang a briefcase at someone on a jet ski, but how many of you are aware of the bloody awesome games that came before them? This is Hitman Blood Money Reprisal, recently released on Nintendo Switch for the first time. Blood Money will have you travel to places far and wide to take down your targets as Agent 47 once more. Playing these games on the go just seems perfect. A level can be done as quick as you'd like if you ignore stealth, but if you want the true Hitman experience, you'll be able to perfectly craft out a plan to hit the target without ever being seen. But if it's taken too long, all you need to do is save, put down your Switch, and then pick it up whenever you want to go on the move again. In what might be one of the strangest crossovers I've covered so far, we have Titanic: A Space Between, a VR experience that will put you in the shoes of a time traveller who has been sent back to the past to figure out what happened to a previous traveller, slowly uncover the truth about time travel and the horrors that actually come along with it. You'll need to solve puzzles deck by deck, as you'll be attempting to outrun the ever-flowing water that's trying to take you down to the depths of the ocean. But water won't be the only thing out here that's trying to get to you. Make sure to keep a look over your shoulder, as let's say there's probably going to be something strange lurking in the shadows. I really do hope this game is as good as it sounds. VR games can often flip one way when it comes to being on the tip of the iceberg. It's time for us to take a walk into a beautiful puzzle game that has nature being the main protagonist. This is Preserve, a nature building game in which you flourish a vibrant ecosystem by cleverly placing plants and animals to create a perfect environment to your liking. Decide what you want your land to become. Do you want lush fields of roses or rocky terrain deserts? The world you create with those little hexagons is yours to decide. The game, funnily enough, reminds me of Catan in a way. The way you build and pave the way for different settlements on a hexagon map. Preserve won't be out for a little while sadly, but we can all wishlist this beautiful game so more people can see the wonders that we'll be able to build in the future. A recently released game is now getting a console release. This is Howl, a turn-based tactical folklore game set within the medieval times. A sinister howling plague is ravaging the land, turning all those who hear it into feral beasts. You'll play as a deaf heroine, plunged into danger to search for a cure. The game has been out for a couple of months now, and whilst having 100% on Steam, which bravo by the way, it only has a handful of reviews. These all state how beautiful the art style is, and that the puzzles will actually make you scratch your head. Just make sure that you play the game on no volume to ensure that you don't turn into a wolf yourself. The console release happened last week, and will be playable on PlayStation, Xbox and Nintendo Switch, so now is as good a time as ever to give it a try. Ow! I'm sure we all seen these games in COVID. The game that started out as a clone of Fall Guys has really gone on to become bigger and better in a lot of its own ways. This is Stumble Guys, and we will finally be seeing it stumbling its way onto PlayStation shortly, as it's been making its way around all the consoles. Stumble Guys is a free-to-play battle royale, where up to 32 players battle it over different obstacles until only one is left stumbling. I would say these games are mega fun. You should at least try them once. Stumble Guys and Fall Guys are free to play, so there's no excuses really. As I say, the game is finally coming to PlayStation, so a whole new section of gamers will be unlocked. I'll definitely be downloading this one so I can give the game a try. I mean, I don't think you're going to be able to, but if you want to try, come and get the crown off me. It's just another day for you and me in arcade paradise, paradise. Fantastic Phil Collins song, and I'm sure he just loved my rendition. Anyway, this is a channel for games, so let's stop the singing and let's say we're here for Arcade Paradise VR. The latest update that will be introduced into Arcade Paradise shortly, that will allow everyone to put on a headset and become player one themselves as they look after the laundromat and make as much money as possible. The game is all about running a store, but slowly turning it into the best arcade possible. It's a management game at the heart that will have you doing small tasks at the start for small profit, but turning out mega bucks by the end when you can finally afford the biggest, baddest, most crazy games on the gaming dark net. The VR version will have a few differences, and the games will probably play a little different to make it possible for you to enjoy the whole experience. Make sure you enjoy playing the games in a game, in a gaming world. So many walls have just been broken there. Recently being released out of early access and given its first major update, this is Graven, an exploration FPS, as you'll need to explore a dark fantasy land as you play a wrongly convicted man of faith. You'll need to battle monsters and beasts that question humanity if you're to survive. The new update will include a heap of fixes to the game that have been raised by players along with some extra goodies. The game, I will say, hasn't done so well at the moment. Most of the new reviews have been coming back negative, but the developers do seem to be listening to most of them. I do have high hopes that they can turn it around, as the game genuinely looks amazing. The graphical setting and the dark and twisted world is just wanting me to get dragged into it, and I feel like I might get lost in this world when I do finally play it. Moving backwards now to a classic. A game first released 33 years ago is making a comeback with Shadow of the Ninja Reborn, a side-scrolling action-adventure that has been remade by the original development team and even reworked with new additions added to the game, as, let's be honest, technology has changed just a little bit since the NES. I mean, it's hard to tell sometimes, but it probably has. The game will still be its beautiful 16-bit art style, and will follow the same story as the original game, but as someone who hasn't played the game before, mainly as I wasn't born, I'm really looking forward to picking it up and giving this one a try. Time to become a ninja and show everyone the cool moves I've got. And now we move on to the final game of the list. This is the Nameless Slay Dragon. The game is a turn-based RPG that sets you and your party off on a quest to slay the mighty dragon. You'll play as a young boy who already has beef with the dragon following a bloody encounter in your past. Fueled with rage, you're the only one who can stop the dragon now. This is really giving me old school Final Fantasy with the exploration. You'll be able to walk around the map and explore all the goodies that you can find along the way. But be careful who's watching you. The game doesn't have level safe areas. It'll be down to you to keep track of levels and ensure that you don't end up becoming food for some trolls. The Nameless Slay Dragon seems bound to be a great turn-based RPG. Most turn-based games, I always enjoy them, even if they're not the most polished, so fingers crossed this one will be a great game to play. And that there is the end of the list of newly released trailers. Let me know if you like the look of any of these or plan on playing any of these great games. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll catch you all next time.